Hey everybody. It is 2 hours UTC, which, at least for me, means it's another live stream of Astronomy Daily Live. So glad you could drop in. I'll go ahead and hang for a little bit here, wait for some folks to come in. I'm also doing audio now on the Discord channel, so you can catch me there too. I will definitely, if anybody wants to pop in there, I will definitely be listening there as well, or I can at least. Um, I want to be able to at least eventually pipe that audio um, into this live stream here somehow, and but I'll need to play with that. I'll need to play with that a little bit. So I'm just going to sort of get set up and do my usual little intro. So this is Astronomy Daily Live. This is a daily live uh, live stream where just a group of friends get together every single day, an ever growing group of friends get together, and we sort of sit around in sort of a virtual circle, and we chat about astronomy for an hour or so. Usually goes maybe a little bit longer than that, but eh, you can usually count on about a good hour or so. So I'm going to get my live stream going on my smartphone so I can basically monitor it, make sure that nothing's going too crazy. My my bandwidth is really low, so um, I'm amazed that I can live stream at all. So I am of course grateful for that. So the interesting thing, and something that I don't quite understand yet, is, and I've got a theory, right? I've got a theory. Um, if I live stream with Google Hangouts, okay, which is what I'm doing now, it's fine. You know, video looks good, audio looks good. Maybe it's a little choppy, but hey, this is a casual show, so there's really no real sweat here at all. I'm always trying to make things better, but I've got to work with the technology that I have, and over time, that will change, and things will get better. But I think, for starters, this is awesome. This is awesome because it's about talking about a passion, and talking about everything, right? The science of astronomy is the science of everything, from from the subatomic to the galactic to the cosmological, and so yeah, lots and lots to talk about. Easy to fill 1 hour per day. That's easy peasy. I've I've been into astronomy my entire life at every single level, every single one. So um, that and even my experience is extremely limited. Uh, probably most limited, uh, because of the path that I chose. But this live stream, as I said, is just a very casual, fun get together of friends where, we are skeptical, but we're also um, open minded, and, ready to learn. I certainly am extremely curious about things, and I enjoy finding out. new and interesting things, especially if they're a little strange. So yeah, I like the weird stuff, and I think as a scientist that is great. That's great. So um, uh, so yeah, it's just all about astronomy here, and at least eventually, as the crowd, as the circle, I should say, gets larger and larger and larger, this this is going to be more of a discussion that is directed by all of you out there that are watching. Uh, Uncle Bill is in the room, painting it yellow as he always does. Hey, Uncle Bill, nice to see you again tonight. Hope everything's okay. Hope everything's well. We've we've uh, we've just finished here sort of unusual weather event. It's happened a few times since we've lived here, but we've just endured 3 days of constant rain. And for the southwestern United States, that's kind of unusual. It's kind of like wow. But it was a nice soaking rain, so it just there's no flooding as far as I know. There's no flash flooding or anything like that. So no problem, no problem. I mean, we being being um, being in the desert, the most valuable commodity is water. So when it comes out of the sky, just falls out of the sky, it's like hallelujah. So yeah, it's great to have rain, just as long as it's not too much. Okay, don't want a lot of rain because that makes things green, and uh, it also means that there's a lot of weather that I would much rather not have around. I'm into clear, dark skies, and that's why I live where I live, and that's why I'm not leaving. And that's why I try to actually discourage people from coming out here because it's a pretty rough, relatively speaking, rough lifestyle because we're far away from practically everything. So still have a few of the conveniences around. People whine if they don't have their, you know, uh, gas stations and hardware stores and all that, sort of nearby. But yeah, in terms of a city, closest city that I'm next to is about an hour away drive. Um, um, so yeah, it's far enough away that it's nice and quiet and dark, but close enough that you know, go in from time to time, spend the whole day in town running little errands and whatnot, pack it all in, to one day. So, all right, well, enough about me. Enough about me. Yeah, we're gonna start clearing up here, I guess, Uncle Bill. So that's nice. That's nice. After 3 days, yeah, I've about had it. I've about had it. So it's really really awesome to have all of the rain though. So, and there is definitely a connection between our weather on this planet and um, the um, sort of the environment of of space. So that big bright star in the sky is really running the show. It's uh, probably more so than what we think at the moment. So um, this this weather is most definitely connected to solar activity and maybe even beyond that for sure. So, but it's awesome to have a little bit of rain, no problem at all. So yeah, hope everybody's doing good. as I said, this is just a casual get together of friends every single day, chit chat about anything astronomical, anything sort of related to astronomy. That's allowed too. Going off on too many tangents, want to stay away from that if we possibly can. It's pretty easy. Um, I am the hammer, so if things get out of hand, it just down it comes. So easy peasy, easy peasy. And tonight's chemical of choice, once again, once again, I had to go with the hydrogen hydroxide because it's just, as I keep saying over and over again, it's very, very calming. Dihydrogen oxide has this energy to it that I can handle a couple times a week. But and last night, that was a good batch. Um, uh, yeah, I think that was a fresh batch, and it was nice. But tonight it is hydrogen hydroxide. Cheers. There's a big, big, big long lag on the live stream tonight, so I'm just watching myself taking that swig of that chemical. Yeah, pretty amazing. All right, well, I uh, I was hoping that Bob Dog would come on and give us a report on the aurora, maybe that he was going to be watching last night, but I don't see him in here yet. I don't see him in here yet. I will try to keep track of those things. As I said, I'm also on, and Uncle Bill, this will be of interest to you. I've got my Discord running and I am on the audio. On the audio. So I'm wondering, I mean, we don't have to do this live, uh, but yeah, at some point soon, um, definitely appreciate it if you'd be able to jump on there and because I was I was testing this earlier today, and I'm actually looking at the Discord thing right now, so I'll get back onto this so I can make sure that I'm not making any funny faces or anything like that. Um, I was on the Discord checking out the audio and everything a little bit earlier today, and it looks like I'm voice activated on there. The little round thing, you know, uh, um, round circle gets that green thing around it when I start to talk. So I assume that means that there is voice coming out. I think I've got all the connections right and everything else, but I was expecting to be able to hear my own voice, and I'm not hearing that. But maybe that's a poor assumption on my part in terms of that. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm definitely on the Discord audio as well. As I said, right when I got on, oh, Tom is on. Cool. Tom is going to try to get onto the audio too. The one thing though, guys, that I haven't figured out, and I don't think I want to do this live because I want to talk astronomy here, but I want to be able to pipe the audio from Discord into this Google Hangout. And so, yeah, maybe at some point, um, uh, maybe tomorrow, because my Sunday I'm booked. And by the way, there's a possibility that the live stream for 2 hours UTC on the 19th of February is not going to happen. There's a possibility. It's a remote possibility, but I just wanted to warn you that I might be away. I might be away. Um, so yeah, probably not. Probably not It'll probably be just as usual, but I am going to be away that day. So uh, so okay, cool, cool. So you can hear me on Discord, Tom. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I guess you just can't hear yourself. So whatever. That's cool. But yeah, at some point I think I want to try to tie in the audio to the Hangout. Um, I think that should be able to be done. Um, there's a question here that I don't quite understand on the YouTube chat. Um, Monchito Pro TV asks, "Do you ever seen a ovni?" And I don't know what that is. So maybe you can enlighten me a little bit more on what that is. There's a lot of things that I've never seen, so that I don't recognize what uh, what a ovni is. Don't know. Don't know. All right. Well, cool. I'm going to. I guess yeah. There was a pretty exciting sort of event today. I guess it's today. It's kind of hard to tell if it was today or maybe yesterday or something like that. But one of the rovers on Mars, um, a rover called Opportunity, just passed its 5,000th sol, and sol is SOL. Have I ever seen a UFO? Do you mean a a object that was flying that I wasn't able to identify, or do you mean like an alien spacecraft? Those are two very distinct things. Um, I guess I've probably seen things flying around that I wasn't able to identify, at least at first. Had some guesses. Um, so yeah, I probably have seen objects that were flying that I wasn't quite sure how to identify them. In terms of alien spacecraft, I can only hope. I can only hope. But so far, as far as I know, I have not. And you would think that you know somebody like myself that has been out in remote places, uh, dark, nobody around, right? Maybe just a couple of friends, right? That I would have seen something. I would have seen something, right? Nothing, nothing. So, yeah, it's a bummer. I'm looking forward to the time when I can, because then I'll really have something to think about. I, I, uh, I definitely don't have enough to think about now. So, that would definitely give me something to think about. Cheers. All right, well, cool. Anyway, the rover on Mars called Opportunity just passed its 5,000th sol. And sol, SOL, is how days are measured on, uh, I guess, all other planets. So, uh, us Earthlings are the only ones that call them days, and that's Earth days. So you could also say, like a Martian day. So 5,000 Martian days. Now this little rover uh, was uh, well, the plan the plan was to go for 90 days, 90 days, and they've gone for over well, they've gone for 5,000 Martian days now. So that's pretty extraordinary. That's very extraordinary, very, very awesome. Huge congratulations to everyone. Um, you know, that is some seriously awesome um, engineering for sure. It's just incredible, incredible, and it continues. It keeps going to this very moment. It is it it is going. Now the Opportunity rover was sort of a twin to another rover called Spirit, and Spirit and Opportunity landed on Mars. I think within like 20 days of each other, 3 weeks, something like that. Um, and their landing was very unusual, and I wanted to confirm this before I actually said anything about this, because I think that what they did was absolutely awesome. So I'm going to go uh, over to YouTube. Uncle Bill is on the audio too. Thanks for stopping in. And what I wanted to do, I didn't want to look at any of the new stuff. What I do, what I like to do, is I like to go straight for the data, right? First, I want to see spectra. I want to see, plots, photometric plots, whatever, right? I don't care about all this, you know, talking about what this thing is doing and all of that kind of stuff. I don't care. What I want is data. So I'm going to go to some cool stuff on Mars. This is just the Wikipedia page about Opportunity, and after 5,000 souls, you sure get a lot of cool pictures, lots of great data. Here's the path. Here's the path that thing is taken. You can barely see it here. It's going along here. Yeah, it's been going for quite a while. It's absolutely fantastic. It's solar powered. It's solar powered. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I thought I thought that there was. I'm absolutely certain. And sorry for not getting this going before, but what I want to do is try to find some data that has come down recently, and I'm going to see if I can do that live. Great pictures. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom again. Look at all this. This is all this stuff. I thought colonize something. Yeah, you know, Monchito Pro. I asked the same question, and I don't have a good answer for you. I don't know. I don't exactly know. Well, okay, all right. I'm gonna change my answer a little bit here, and we can talk about this a little bit. This isn't really astronomy, so I'm not gonna dwell on this too long. But all right, boom, I'm back. The um, the thing that really killed us going back to the moon was the shuttle. The shuttle. The shuttle was sort of assumed to be this great thing that was going to revolutionize space travel because it was advertised as a cheap way of getting into space because uh, a lot of it they thought would be reusable, right? Uh, nope, haven't yet. Um, Reusable. So, reusability goes back to the early 70s, maybe even mid 60s or so. So it's been on the thoughts of a lot of people for a long, long, long time and how to do that. And, the solution, the, uh, the, the early solution was to have a shuttle, to have a space transport system, just basically build a bunch of trucks that can haul stuff up and haul stuff down, and that's awesome. That's awesome, right? But it never worked out that way. It turned out to be way too expensive, and the expendability part was nah. It just didn't work. It was definitely. I would say at least definitely not a waste of time, um, because a lot has been learned. A lot has been learned, and as Buckminster Fuller says, or has said over and over and over again, right? There's no way to learn less. You can only learn more. So all those people who worked on the shuttle, right, are still either out there in some form, right? Or they're still doing it, right? Maybe they're the bosses. A lot of the bosses now, a lot of the management types uh, are are the guys that worked on shuttle, and now all that knowledge and experience and technology um, is evolving and growing, and we're seeing things like SpaceX and Blue Origins and all the space companies. Let me tell you, folks, let me tell you, and this is not the first time you'll hear this, but it's absolutely true that if you want to get in on a ground floor, you hit space. Hit space because, man, it is going to be big. It is going to be really, really big. Um, it's going to be unbelievably amazing. So get on board somehow. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get on board. There's going to be so much opportunity. It's going to be unreal. It's going to be totally unreal. So hit yourself onto a spacecraft because yeah, it's going to be amazing. Um, anyway, so uh, uh, as I recall, Spirit and Opportunity landed on Mars in a very unusual way. Okay, they the the rovers, right, were uh, were delivered to Mars orbit by rockets and spacecraft and all of that. But the rovers themselves came down and landed on Mars in these like big, huge, uh, like I don't know if it was air filled, but these big, big balloons, right? Um, and they landed and then they bounced and rolled, bounced and roll, bounce and roll, bounce and roll. Man, I wish I could find. I'm gonna go back onto my screen share. Go back onto my screen share because I'd like to show you this if you haven't seen it. Um, Now this is definitely something that you can do too, but it's a live stream, so why not? Let's uh let's go up here. Oh, I don't have to do that. Here, I can do this. And man, I'm trying to Let's see if they have any pictures here. They probably don't. Probably don't. They're just talking about mission objectives and dates and much power they get. So launch. It was launched on spacecraft launched 9 days later on July 7th, 2003. Okay. The landing have yeah, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more prepared. I thought it would be relatively easy just to dive on to this topic. Mars landing. Mars exploration rover opportunity. Spirit and Opportunity, Mars exploration rover mission home. Let's go here and see. Because really what I'm after is some data, right? I want data. 5,000 days on Mars. Approaching 5,000th Martian dawn. But do they have any? I'm still trying to figure out if there's any good pictures or good. Oh, it's in the PDS archive. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig a little bit deeper to really be able to show you guys. Yeah, airbags. Yeah. I've not mentioned the Humanity Star yet. Uh, yeah, we can bring that up a little bit. That was, that was a lot like the Roadster. Um, Unfortunately, I think their timing of that was probably a little off. So nobody, I don't, I, I wonder if uh, I wonder if anybody's really remembering Humanity Star at this point. I don't know. I don't know. That was, you know, just like the Tesla and the Starman. That's just a PR thing, and that's okay. That's okay. It's not hurting anyone, and it's it gets a lot of people's attention, and in this time where there's just information overload and nobody knows where to look, right, for useful information uh, or anything like that. It's nice to have a resource like that. So, but yeah, I did hear that there were, I guess, a lot of astronomers that were upset about Humanity Star because it was going to block their view of the sky. Oh, that's bullshit. That's just absolute BS. Um, there, you can't complain about that and not complain about all the other crap up there that is always going through your field of view constantly. So yeah, that's just BS. That's just absolute BS. And if they want to launch a thing um, to orbit that you know sort of gets everybody's attention and stuff for what they're doing, and what they're doing is um, space related. So what's wrong with that? No problem. No problem. Um, yeah, yeah. I think I've I'm of the opinion that you know especially coming into a time where and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen again. We're coming into a time. There I am. we're coming into a time where we can have this kind of a communication, right? You right there and me right here. We can have a live going on right now with anybody on the entire planet. And that is going to change. That is going to change the culture. And I think it is. I think it is. It's beginning to change the culture. Don't know where it is going yet, but I'm sort of beginning to develop the mindset that let's just bypass government funding and see if we can sort of just do it on our own. So the government isn't the only one that can do stuff, and if the government wasn't around, yeah, things would still happen. Things would definitely still happen. So yeah, I'm just saying that I think there's an opportunity here to really um, sort of pump up um, crowdfunding. I guess you could sort of call it democratizing things, right? Because you finally have a situation where it's a direct thing. It's like I throw $5 at you, and you go build a rocket, right? And I think that's awesome. I think that's very, very awesome. Why do we have to wait really for anything except our own will, to get things done? And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that we need a crowbar um, anymore to pry the dollars out of the hands of the politicians anymore. It's just it doesn't. It's becoming less and less necessary, right? And so we'll see how all that goes. Yeah. Cheers. Huh, Tom, I don't quite. I'm not quite following you now. Now look, you you may have already caught this, but man, I've got like neutron star matter in this skull. So things go in very slowly, very slowly. It's going in, and so when you say it will be going, oh what is going overhead 2 weeks from tomorrow? Oh, Humanity Star. See now Roseanne uh, would say, now she knows the speed of stupid. So yeah, see, I was able, to catch up, and yeah, thanks. I I want to, when I first heard about Humanity Star, I went to their website, and on their website, it probably is there still. They had a track of the orbit, right? A track of the orbit. Um, uh, Now that really didn't give me any time as to when it was going to pass over my location, right? Because I want to see it too. So I went over to Heavens Above, and they had it um, um, in their database. And did I check the orbital elements? I think I checked the orbital elements because they had the orbital elements on the Humanity Star site, and I could I could compare those to the orbital elements on um, Heavens Above, and they matched. But then I looked at the orbit uh, for Humanity Star on Heavens Above and on Humanity Star, and they were different. They were different. So that was really, really early on. I haven't checked it since. I haven't that that whole interest lasted about maybe 2 hours for me. so so it's just, because it's just another thing up there. Uh, Probably really, really faint, not as exciting maybe as they thought it might be. I don't know. I think I did look it up, and at least on Heavens Above, it was saying um, it was saying um, uh, sometime in March, and this live stream, of course, is not only for you folks that are here live, but also for the folks in the future who are going to be watching this, because the time might be an inconvenient time or something like that. So we haven't gone over to Heavens Above for a while, so let's go over and do that. Heavens Above is a great site if you're interested in watching satellites. Uh, it's called Heavens Above. Heavens Above will predict for you the passage of pretty much any satellite that's orbiting the planet right now, and it'll tell you uh, when it's going to pass over and where. So I had it. The last time we looked at this was actually when Bob Dog uh, was on, and we typed in his latitude and longitude. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this to something closer to myself, because that's where Haines, Alaska is. But I'm gonna whoa, I'm gonna move it down to southeastern Arizona. Bob Dog, you and I are pretty far apart. Let's see. Oh, we're on the same coast, right? On the same coast. So I'm just going to sort of randomly pick a spot. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. Let's see, so now, so you can either select a location like I just did by hand, or you can type in a latitude and a longitude and an elevation. Notice that my longitude here is negative. That means it's west. So this is a west longitude. It is west of the prime meridian, which is um, going through Greenwich, England. It also gives the elevation and the time zone, and at least sort of a nearby city there. So it's chosen Sierra Vista for that, which is close enough. Close enough. So I think, how do I never remember how to do any of these things. Okay, update, like that. So now you can see up here, right? It gives the location and my local time, which is 1944, which is 7 hours behind UTC. So UTC right now is 2 hours 44 minutes. And looky there, there's a humanity star. So over here on the left, you can see it lists sort of categories, satellites, astronomy, miscellaneous things. And under satellites, we have uh, these predictions for satellites of special interest. So, like the International Space Station, the Hubble telescope, Humanity stars. So, we'll get back to that in a second. And then there's the whole satellite database, right? So, if you click on that, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I meant to do that. We can update this. Huh. That's not what I was expecting to see. I thought, oh, sorry about that. Daily predictions for brighter satellites. That's what I was going after. Man, I'm just slow and tired tonight. So for my location, um, it's still the 16th of February on my side of the planet. And most of these have already gone by. But you can see these are all the satellites, all the visible satellites that I would have been able to see tonight. So starting at 6:24 and going till what about 9:50 or so. So what it's 7:46 p.m. right now. So going overhead right now that I'd be able to see is this Cosmos 2219 rocket body. So there's a lot of rocket bodies out there, second stages, most of them. So that's going over my location right now. So if you click on this time, it'll actually show you the path in the sky that this particular object uh, is taking, and you can see that it has time marks here too. So 1942, 44, 46, 48. So right now it's at 1946. So it's right there, and it's still, and you can sort of see the arrow here, right? That means it's moving this way. You can tell by the time too, of course, that's what's going on. Uh, yeah, but let's go over to the Humanity Star. Thank you, Tom. And let's just see. Okay, so in the 10 days from the 16th to the 26th, I'm not seeing nothing. In 10 days from the 26th to March 8th, nothing. Here we go. So in 10 days from the 8th to the 18th of March, seeing it a bunch of times, but wow. Okay, so they have a brightness estimate for for this guy, and under good conditions, under a dark sky, the human eye can see to about magnitude 6. Okay, and the magnitude scale is uh, in um, in astronomy is reversed. So the larger the number, the fainter the star. So our our moon is like magnitude -12. Venus is about -4. Jupiter is about uh, -1, something like that. We can see to about sixth magnitude, and every step in magnitude is a factor of 2.5 times fainter. So a sixth, well, a fifth magnitude star is 2.5 times brighter than a sixth magnitude star. So if you look at these brightness estimates here, okay, 7.6, 5.7, 8.2, 4.1, there's only, see, 5.7 I could probably barely see. 4.1 I, I'll definitely be able to see that, right? 4.3, I'll definitely be able to see that. None of these other ones I'll be able to see at all. So let's look at this one because it looks like, see, it starts at 720 and what's that? Its highest point at 722 at 89 degrees. So that's almost straight up. It's almost exactly straight up. It's going fast too. Wow. So it goes across the entire sky in like less than 5 minutes. That's amazing. And it's going from the south to the north. See, it starts in the south here, and at its highest point, it's east southeast, but it's straight up, so kind of hard to tell. But then it's going straight south to north. So I think if you click on the date, it'll give you it'll give us the same path. Oh yeah, wow, look at that. So it's going almost straight overhead from south to north. Yeah. So I'm probably going to try to see that for sure. I will have to make a note on my calendar that for me on the 10th of March at 1920 or so, I think I want to go out and try. I should be able to see a fourth magnitude object with my smartphone. So maybe I'll also try to photograph it too and make a little movie like I did with the International Space Station here the other day. But see, that's not happening until the 10th of March. So I've got wow, that's what 3 weeks away, something like that. So, but yeah, that'll kind of be cool to see. But yeah, it's really faint. For the most part, not really visible to the naked eye. And to be able to track that with a telescope, that's going to be really hard. Um, Binoculars, yeah, with binoculars, you'll be able to see it. You definitely want a nice wide field of view uh, so you don't get lost, right? Don't want to get lost up there. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. But that is Heavens Above, and that's a great sight. Um, and, it's one of those things that, if you don't have a scope or don't have binoculars, but still want, to be looking up and seeing things happening up there, yeah, lots and lots of cool stuff. And you can only really see satellites an hour or two after sunset and an hour or two before sunset. Because if you sort of think of the geometry, right? Um, uh, the satellite is way above us. It's at least a couple hundred miles up, if not more. And so it's a lot like a mountaintop, right? As you watch the sun set, it, um, it's the mountaintops that stay lit the longest, and the clouds are lit even more, just because they're higher and higher and higher. The same thing goes for satellites. They're high enough. Um, they're high up enough that um, uh, they can be visible for at least a couple hours after the sun becomes invisible here. So they're still seeing the sun up there for a while. They'll eventually cross into the shadow of the Earth as well, and oftentimes, especially with the lower ones like the space station, um, you can actually watch it move into the shadow. And what that looks like, right, is that it's this big bright star moving in the sky that suddenly just begins to fade. It gets fainter and fainter and fainter and fainter until it's completely gone. And it's just moved into the shadow of the Earth. So, yeah, uh, neat to see for sure. So, yeah, I will definitely take a look at Humanity Star on the 10th. The other thing that I'm going to be doing uh, on the on the that's good, cool. Um, I'm going to be looking at Algol. I'm going to be recording one of the um, eclipses that it goes through every 2.86 days or so. It's happening at an extremely inconvenient time, but I talked to them, and they are unwilling. They are unwilling to change the time of that eclipse. So I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. I think it's happening something like at 9:46 UTC, which means for me like 2:46 UTC. So no problem. I mean that's what astronomers do. You know, you have to know when your object is visible, and you have to sort of know, if you're trying to observe a particular thing, you have to know when that particular thing is happening, and then you have to be there. So, regardless whether it's convenient or not, uh, and every single time, I go to them and it's like, look, you know, let's make this event at a convenient time for me. And every single time they're like, well, nope. So whatever, whatever. I'm good with that. Anyway, I'm going to try to record that event. Haven't done that in a while, so yeah, and it'll be nice to actually get a light curve on that. I don't think I've never recorded a light curve of Algol uh, on on my own with my own equipment. So that'll be cool. That'll be very, very cool. So I encourage you all to take a look at that. I posted the dates and times for um, the minima of Algol up in the Discord channel a few days ago. So you can just go to if you go to the description down below here and look for my Discord server. And I think if you go to the astronomy channel on that server, somewhere in that list is like a little table that is showing the minima of Algol. Now that, just note that is when Algol is at its faintest. So in order to sort of see the effect of that, you'll want to go out a couple hours, a few hours beforehand, locate Algol. As I said, compare its brightness to a nearby star. I believe it's Rho Persei. This is in the constellation of Perseus. So usually Algol is brighter than Rho, but when it's um, dimming out because, well, I'll explain that in a minute. Um, at its faintest, it's about as bright as Rho. So you can sort of compare, the brightnesses of the stars, to see uh, where it is um, in that thing. So what's happening is that there are two stars in this um, system. One you can sort of call the primary star, and um, and then you have a secondary star, and the secondary star is going around the primary star, and the orbit is such that um, the secondary star, when it goes around the primary star, from our point of view, it actually goes in front of the primary star. So it's just like an eclipse. And in fact, it's called an eclipsing binary star. Cheers. And this happens, one orbit around takes about, 2.87 days or something like that. Um, so every 2.87 days, the secondary star passes in front of the primary star, and the secondary star is darker, fainter, uh, at least in an apparent way, um, than the primary star, and so the whole thing looks like it gets fainter for a few hours, right? As the secondary star passes in front of primary star, that's when the whole thing is going to look dimmer. right? So that just lasts a couple hours, a few hours maybe. So yeah, if you go out a couple hours before um, um, the minimum, and then at the minimum, and then a couple hours afterwards, you'll see the whole thing happen. Probably what I'm going to do, I haven't thought about it yet. Probably, I mean, since I want to collect data, since I want to collect data, um, I'm probably going to try to collect as much as I possibly can. So I'm thinking that I'm going to be taking a picture at least every half an hour for 6 hours or so, 5 or 6 hours, something like that. But it might be like every 15 minutes. I don't know. And maybe I'll wimp out completely and not do it at all. It might be cloudy here too. It might still be cloudy. So there's a possibility of that not being able to see it. But these things happen all the time, all the time. So if I don't get it on this one, I'll try again at some point. No biggie, no biggie at all. So cool. So yes, 5,000 Martian days for a rover that had a planned uh, lifetime of 90 days. 90 days. So they've been doing this for 5,000 days, and they're still going. Now, Spirit, I believe, got stuck. So I don't know. I don't know if they turned that off or what. I'll do a little bit of research tomorrow because I'm absolutely certain that Opportunity is still sending back pictures. And yeah, I'd like to see some of those, but didn't. I thought it'd be easy to find those kinds of things live, and it's not. They've got it buried. It sort of looks like all that data has gone into um, the planetary data system, which is actually very, very, very awesome. You should check that out. We should. I should probably do a little, at least a segment of a show on PDS. um, I'd like to get into it a little bit more too. That's sort of the repository for all of the planetary data, and from all the spacecraft, not only the rovers on Mars, but Juno and um, Cassini, the Lunar Reconnaissance um, um, Orbiter, Messenger at Mercury. I think it goes way, way, way back too. So they have, as I said, they have um, Voyager data. They probably have Pioneer data there. They got all the Martian stuff, Galileo, all that. It's all there, and just have to learn how to navigate around a little bit. It's pretty easy, pretty easy. But yeah, I should probably do a segment on that at some point. So I noticed that I'm just past an hour. That it is 3 hours 3:03 UTC. So hope everybody's doing well. I'm looking at the chat. I should probably look at my Discord too, which I haven't. Shame on me. I haven't been doing. No, I'm not. Oh, okay. It says that Uncle Bill is typing at this moment. So you never know. Uncle Bill's a ninja. So he's doing 50 things at the same time here, which is awesome. So Bob Dog, I definitely wanted to ask if you saw any Northern Lights last night. Did you get an opportunity to see any of those? I don't know if you're still on or not, but if you are, I definitely like to get a little bit of report, even if it's just like, yep, they were there. So because down here, to see the aurora is it, it practically never ever happens at all. It's which you know in a certain way, I'm glad because auroras can really, really, really mess up an observing run. So I mean, it's um, bad enough that we have to put up with like zodiacal light and air glow and all of that. And air glow, of course, is sort of a um, um, subtle um, aurora, but yeah, to have an aurora, and you know, especially if you're a pro who has traveled, maybe halfway around the world to go to an observatory to collect some really really important data for the work that you're doing, and you've got this beautifully clear, awesome night, right? And then the aurora starts, and your night is done. Your night is done. So, it's all you can do is either curse it and go to bed, or you can go outside and watch. So, I mean, but so in a certain sense, I'm sort of glad that they don't happen here because I definitely would not have as many of the nice, clear, dark nights as I might want. Cheers. So, anything else astronomical? I think you know, I definitely respect all of your time, and I appreciate you coming in. Definitely don't think that you have to come in here every single day. Um, if you do, that is absolutely fantastic. But one of the cool things, and this is sort of one of the niches that I'm definitely trying to fill, is that you know uh, don't have to feel uh, like you have to come in here every single day. You want to come in here every week, every month, every other day, whatever it is, doesn't matter. We are casual. This is a friendly crowd. That's how I want it to be, and it's just fun. That's sort of the bottom line. Is that this is really really fun. It's very very awesome stuff. Um, Anything astronomical we can chat about for sure. Uh, Terrestrial, the Martians are the next human evolution is closer to the future. I mean, if we had, yeah, that's we'll see. There's every indication that we we continue to evolve, and so yeah, I think uh, soon, soon, if there aren't already Martians, there will be, because the Martians are going to be us. We're going to be Martians. There are going to be hopefully, people who are born and live out their entire lives on Mars. And technically speaking, right, they will be Martians. So the Martians might be us. You never know. We'll see. We'll see. There's so much about our own planet that we don't know. It's uh, it's hard to fathom um, being able to understand in any kind of a complete way. Uh, you know, planet number two or planet number three or planet number. It's just there's a lot of stuff going on. So and we don't know. We don't really know what the conditions for life are because we don't have a good definition of life. So yeah, don't know. Anyway, I think I'm going to get out of here for this evening for myself. Um, yeah. So congratulations to Opportunity, 5,000 Martian days. and still going, still going. And yeah, I will definitely locate some data, um, and yeah, we'll take a look at all that. Some pictures and stuff for sure. If you've never seen the surface of Mars, um, it's absolutely fabulous. And I know that geologists, I guess you can call them that, geologists must just be just drooling over all this stuff because it's just rocks and dirt and mountains, and they love that kind of stuff. And it's nice that the astronomers can sort of bring that to them. It's very, very awesome. All right, I'm going to get out of here for tonight. I got to get back up. You know, duty calls. So, all right, I will see you tomorrow night. As I said, there's a possibility, a remote possibility, that there will be no live stream uh, on the 19th, at 2 hours UTC on the 19th of February. It's a possibility, pretty remote, but maybe. I just wanted to let you all know. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for coming in. It's nice to see sort of a larger crowd. It's nice to see, this growing a little bit. I'm here because I love astronomy and I like to talk about it. And um, I'm not um, uh, necessarily here for the crowd or anything else. It's just, I'm not, I'm doing much um, uh, here this time of day. So it's like, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about astronomy anyway. So why not, do a live stream and sort of think out loud? Think out loud. So Machida Pro TV, it's the same time every single day at 2 hours UTC. So depending on where you are on the planet, you're going to have to figure out where that is. So there's two things that you can do for that. Um, if you want the sort of the easiest way, right, is subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. And then when I go live, you will be notified, and that is the time it is. The other thing is to figure it out, right? It's at it's always the same time, 2 hours UTC. So you'll have to figure out where you are on the planet relative to universal time, and you'll have to figure out um, uh, those kinds of things from there. So yeah, see, Uncle Bill, he's just he's going to help you out even more. So he's going to do a little bit of math for you. So I sort of see, uh, you know, being able to figure out what local time this live stream is on as sort of a gate, as sort of a gate. Um, when you get into astronomy, one of the really, really important things to be able to grasp is how to measure time. Now, not what time is, but just how to measure it. And there are lots and lots of different ways, to do that. So having a good grasp of, you know, starting to think about time. If you want to get into astronomy, you definitely that's a really, really good first start, right? Um, Getting sort of a handle on time, and also learning the sky a little bit. That's an awesome thing to do too. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks everybody for coming in. Be here tomorrow, same time, same place, a little less than 23 hours from now. I would say 22 hours and 46 minutes from now, we'll be meeting again. All right. So take care, everybody. peace out and have a great day. Have a great evening and see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.